A major question for the Minnesota Vikings heading into their first preseason game on Sunday was how was new head coach Kevin O'Connell going to do in his first game at the helm of the Vikings ship? Now, I know blah, 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 preseason, but first time that O'Connell has wore the big headset, the first time that he's been calling plays in his own offense. He has called plays before in Washington, but he is the guy. He is the man taking a team on the road, and you absolutely love to see it. And I think overall he fared about as good as you could expect. And I think the Vikings fans should be very excited about the new leadership, just change in management running the Vikings, where O'Connell, notorious KOC. That's right, man. Where overall, in black and white stats, the offense, 298 total yards on 8 drives, passing yards, $183, 6.5 yards per attempt, 115 rushing yards, 20 first downs, 1-7 on third down. Could be improved. 101 on fourth down, 2 out of 4 in the red zone, 0 turnovers, 8 penalties, 71 yards. That was a combination of offense and defense, mainly defense. But yeah, I think overall, I do think that Kevin O'Connell did good things. He got Sean Mannion in a good place, and he really helped out with Kellen Mond, where Mond on the first drive has a little bit of jitters, but I think that he settled down and just dropped some absolute dimes. And also, I initially disagreed on the starting Mannion, playing Mond, bringing Mannion back in for a drive, and then going back to Mond. I think that being in a quarterback, you need to be in a flow, but also, if these guys are going to be QB2s, they could be called in a second to just step on up, and they have to do that. So I take that back. I think that was a good idea. And then overall, I think his game management was okay. He wasn't really put into any really tough decisions. Also, hey, the defense stopped someone under 2 minutes and a half. Absolutely fantastic. Also, what really stood out is the play calling on offense. It just flowed, man. Where we saw with the Kubiai over the last couple of years, Gary in 2020, Clint, the little kid in 2021, where it's sort of herky-jerky, fits and starts, where it's like you have all these amazing ingredients, but then the cook just really doesn't bring things together. Like the meal is less than the sum of its parts. But overall, yes, it is preseason. It's vanilla offense, but you're going to have the overall arching feel. You're going to have the gestalt of the offense. And it feels like, I mean, Kevin O'Connell was in his own, man. He's looking really good. Our receivers were running wide open, where we talked about the receivers, 5 through 11 on the Vikings have had a really good camp, but a lot of it could be attributed to the scheme, a bit where, hey, if you're putting your players in the best positions where they can win and they use their talents and then they win in those spots, guess what? That's an amazing offense. That is how you win games. Plus, it makes you really feel good about what's going to happen when you got Jefferson and Thielen and KJ out there when the plays actually matter and the games actually count. It's just amazing, man. Plus, the offensive line made huge holes in the running game. Now, part of that sure could be the Raiders' backups, but especially the Vikings' second-team offensive line, spearheaded by Ed Ingram and Brandel and Schlottman and Hinton and Udo. They looked really good opening holes for King Kene, for Ty Chandler, just making plays back there. Plus, quarterback wise, Mond had his moments where he looked really good, where he looked lost at times. It's something that he does need to work, and he needs to trust himself more, because in college, you see a guy open and then you throw it. But in the NFL, you have to throw a guy open. You just have to let it rip, right? And Mannion looked decent as well, but what was amazing about most of the play calling, the quarterback had a very clean first read. Now, some quarterbacks can get locked on that for sure, but a lot of that is scheming. A lot of that is play design and play calling, where, hey, here's where we can hit them. Here's where you're going to find an easy first read. Here's where you do this. Here's where you do that. So I think that, it's just amazing. Kevin O'Connell, maybe the QB whisperer. He should and could get a lot of credit for what happened with Stafford and the Rams last year when they went on that Super Bowl run. So, frankly, I think the Vikings are very lucky to have Kevin O'Connell in the building with Kwesi adofo-mensah, new management. Although, do we switch Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell here? Like, is O'Connell Ted and is Kwesi Beard? I don't know. Really doesn't matter. But you see the parallels, man. You see the parallels with the square jaw, look, and the blue eyes, just looking good. Is Kevin O'Connell the next Bud Grant? Question mark. It's possible. It's possible, man. But I think overall, he had a hell of a debut for the Vikings. Next game will be Saturday, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. The Niners come in. First home game. Yes, preseason, but home game. The first time that he's going to go through his home game day routine, get the team going in front of the Purple Faithful. It's going to be fantastic. Going to be fantastic, man. So high hopes all around for the Vikings, where I don't know. Feels kind of itchy. I'm not used to this feeling, but I can't fight this feeling anymore. But your thoughts are thoughts. How did Kevin O'Connell fare in his first game as head coach of the Minnesota Vikings? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.